Welcome to the Reader's Digest. This is the October 2023 issue. Now let's get this started with already. Now the first thing about this is 13 things. That's our first story for the day. Let's start off. Now when you're like, here's the first fact. When you think about mushrooms, the white bottom, cremally, and portobello actually probably come to your mind first because that's actually the most 90% of the eaten mushrooms in the US. But there are also more than 10,000 types of mushrooms, in fact. And many of the mycologists, mushroom experts, actually say that this is only a fraction of what's actually out there. The second thing is, that's not everyone, but not everyone is an enthusiast. In 2019, mushrooms actually made a list of, mushrooms made a list of America's least favorite vegetables, with 18% of the respondents saying they didn't like them. Most likely because of the fact that this has been associated with the molds on bread, and we hate mold on bread. Also, it's disgusting, mold on bread. It's also unhealthy. So yeah, some people actually puke when they eat mushrooms. I used to be one of those people, but now I like mushrooms. The third one, you don't actually have to eat mushrooms to actually reap their benefits. Reishi and tremella varieties are actually found in everything, from like adaptogens, which are supposed to help your body adjust to stress, and to skin care products. Now, for centuries, lion's mane, cordyceps, and reishi have been used as an anti-inflammatory and immune-boosting remedies, which is pretty darn important. Number 4, Kennett Square in Pennsylvania is actually the place world's best known as the world's mushroom capital of the world. Now, a small town near Philadelphia actually produces around 65% of this country's crop. Now, today's mushroom industry actually contributes about $1.2 billion and about $9,300 jobs to the state economy. Wow, that's a lot. The fifth one is the underground mushrooms. Now, underground mushrooms branch into networks of root-like myceliums, which actually help break down waste. Now, this actually adds vital nutrients back into the soil. Now, this network also shares information such as warning trees about insect infestations and communicating via electrical pulses and intricate patterns, which I made a video about, and I used to call it the Wood Wide Web. Yeah, the Wood Wide Web. The sixth one is mycelium. Now, why does that actually sound familiar? If so, you may actually be among the millions who actually tuned in to watch The Last of Us, HBO's hit series about an infectious series of cordyceps that causes mycelium to take over human brains and turn people into zombie-like mushroom monsters. And the premise was actually based on the real-life parasitic zombie ant fungus, which affects mostly ants and spiders. And our higher body temperatures means that we're actually not susceptible. Phew. We're not actual zombies, though. That's lucky enough. The seventh one is the largest mushroom on Earth, and that is a single Armilia ostoya, which is commonly called the shoestring fungus. And it occupies literally 2,300 acres of Oregon's Malheur National Forest, and this humongous fungus is estimated to be up to 8,650 years old. And the eighth one is among the most expensive mushrooms in the Tibetan Yartsa gumbo, or caterpillar fungus. It's selling up to $5,600 per pound. Its purpose aphrodisiac properties actually have it earned the nickname the Viagra of the Himalayas. And truffles, too, as gastronomers know, gastronomers know, are quite pricey. A single truffle can cost up to $3,800. Now, the New York-based company Urbane Truffle USA hires more than 18,000 truffle hunters worldwide to keep up with the demand. Wow! Number 9. Now, foraging for your own mushrooms actually is probably a bad idea because some mushrooms might look like the ones you eat, but however, they might be just variations, just like camouflage, so the people can eat them and then they go sick and die, saying, "Never eat us again!" Yeah. Now, many of these poison mushrooms, also called toadstools, can look like the varieties that look familiar, but some wild mushrooms are actually dangerous to eat raw, too. Now, mushroom-related deaths are actually rare, only 3% per year in the US, but you could easily end up with having an upset stomach. Now, the best way is to go forage with a pro. The 10th one is advocates of psychedelic magic mushroom tout. So advocates of psychedelic magic mushrooms tout them as promising treatments of depression and addiction and other mental health disorders too. In 2021, the U.S. government awarded a $4 million grant for a study to determine whether the psychoactive ingredient in psychedelic mushrooms, like psilocybin, could actually help people stop smoking. Yeah, that would be useful, but unfortunately, I'm not sure it's ready yet. 11. Meanwhile, the 11th fact, microdosing, taking small doses of psilocybin, has actually become a popular productivity boosting hack in California's Silicon Valley and beyond. Now, the scientific community is actually divided about how effective the microdosing is for enhancing the mood, and creativity and focus, but the practice was given, unofficially, the royal assent in Prince Harry's recent memoir, Spare. And during an interview later, he described the psychedelic mushrooms as a fundamental part of his mental health practice. What the heck? Alright, the 12th fact is mushrooms might even get to be able to save our planet. They can sequester large amounts of carbon dioxide out of the oxygen, out of the atmosphere, and they produce enzymes that can digest pretty much anything, including toxins in landfills and oil spills. And according to climate scientists in Germany, if we replace this 100% of the meat we consume with alternatives such as mushrooms, by 2050, we could cut the rate of deforestation by more than half. Our last fact for today, 13th fact, get your telescopes ready. Mushrooms may actually find their way to outer space as soon as 2025 in the form of mycotecture, using mushrooms for architectural purposes. Turns out growing mycelium in mold makes for cheaper and versatile stucco-like building material that NASA can actually use to build future bases on the moon and Mars. This funky fungus truly is our this world. Next up, we have the Department of Wit. I like it. Well, this is about a story named Samantha Irby, and it's from the book. It's a little text from the book, Quietly Hostile Essays. And here, it's all about the self-defenses that you need when you're in some busybody questions your choices. Basically, lots of people actually want to make you feel bad by criticizing it, saying everyone wants a justification nowadays. Now, here's the thing. It's because you don't actually, this person itself doesn't make a lot of goals because it's embarrassing when you fall short. Drink more water? Can't do it. Go to bed early? What about my shows? Save more money? But what about buying stuff? Lose weight? Is there a pill for that? And if there is, can I eat it in cheese just like my dog? Eliminate bad habits? What would I do without them? Yeah, you don't actually coping mechanisms of all that stuff. So, and lots of bad people actually want to make you feel bad, even though you're not one of those bad people. Now, let's just say this interaction, let me just do a simulation of this interaction. Me! I saw a new innocuous movie that is perfectly fine with good. Damn, fighting shock. What? Really? How dare you? It was a full comic garbage with no character development and implausible ending. It's like them saying that about Endgame. How dare you? And so yeah, that happened. And literally everyone seemed to be here. Yikes. The thing is, this is pretty darn important too, because just because people are criticizing you doesn't mean things too. Let's just say someone told you, saying, really? You still go to that place? And she wanted an explanation and an apology. Unfortunately, she was in no mood to atone for a place that she did not conceptualize, she did not build, she did not own, she did not live in, she did not at all profit from, she frequently used with satisfaction, and told her about as a courtesy because she asked her. Nice. Yeah, so just say, lots of people actually just go ahead and say these things. This girl itself told the offer of this thing, I can't believe you go there, and repeated that over and over again, trying to get a response out. But then she didn't say anything, but then, the offer didn't actually say anything, and then the attacker said, it's so ugly, and followed by an anticipative pause. And then, well, apparently this offer guy is all you know what, I'm tired of this. And she arranged her face into something resembling cheerfulness and said in her highest octave, I like it! Then she watched, in the offer watched the receiver, stunned and that was not what I expected. Yeah, that was weird. And however, it was good too. It's like a shield. It protects you from all the bad stuff by saying, I like it. What's wrong with liking it? Now, finally, we're going to have to talk about news from the world. Medical news from the world. Now, this is by Samantha Ryder. Now, the trouble with traffic. Now, people who live near busy roads actually deal with a daily barrage of hours, horn, sirens, and engine noise. Turns out it's not just a nuisance, it's a health risk. Apparently, all this can actually damage your ears and things. According to a large study from researchers at the University of Leicester and Oxford University in England, and also apparently Peking University in China, this soundscape actually increases the risk of hypertension. And the study actually compares homes with differing levels of air pollution and noise. People who are regularly exposed to this high risk and high noise actually means that there's a bunch of hypertension going on. And suddenly take away all this noise, I can't sleep. Now there's also a new option to lower cholesterol. Now for people who actually need to manage their cholesterol, problems such as heart attacks and strokes, statins are the go-to drugs, and for good reasons too. It typically lead to 30% to 50% reduction in the levels of LDL, also known as bad cholesterol. However, some patients get side effects such as muscle pain, headaches, or weakness. Another medication, bempedoic acid, is sometimes prescribed as an add-on to statins. That's pretty important too. And that's about it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. See you guys soon. Until next time, Sean out. Peace. Wherever you are, go ahead. Read the Reader's Digest. Sean out. Meet the presenter of the Reader's Digest unofficially. Bye-bye. And wear a helmet. Yeah, seriously.